Hi guys, welcome back to 17 square meters garden. Today's video is gonna be a bit of a mix of all kinds of things. Firstly, I know it's super odd that I record in my bedroom. It's probably the most random of all places for a horticulturist to record a video. But as I mentioned a few times, my apartment is undergoing renovation right now and I literally have no furniture in my house other than in my bedroom. And it's freezing cold outside and there's nothing to do on a balcony. So I thought that for today's video, I'm gonna share with you a sort of a New Year's haul. So some of the things that I recently bought, it is gonna be plant related more or less because I have some awesome new gardening books. I have some home/plant decor that I want to share with you. And I have a rotting Sansevieria that I need to repot ASAP. So we are gonna do some gardening in today's video as well. So I hope that you will enjoy it. Okay, you guys, first things first, if you are wondering why the heck do I have a pieces of paper hanging on my wall, that's actually a really cool trick. So I have some beautiful floral prints that I will show you in a moment. And that's a cool trick because before you actually drill holes and before you start to damage your wall, cut out a piece of paper that equals the size of your picture and then tape it to the wall, because at this point you can still move things around, you can still change things if you don't like the layout. But in all cases, I won't be drilling any holes, and I found a really cool gadget on some Chinese website. And just to be clear, I am not turning into a home decor channel or a lifestyle channel in here. It's just because I'm gonna talk about the pictures that I want to show you how I'm attaching them to the wall. So I found this really cool little gadget on a Chinese website. It's an adhesive pad that replaces screws. So as you can see, the back is all transparent and it has this little screw in here. So you glue it to the wall, you leave it for 24 hours and then you can hang whatever you want. It supports weight up to 2 kilograms and apparently it's really working. So we shall see, right? I have one for each picture, and for the bigger one I attached 2 of these because, you know, after all, I'm sleeping here and I do not want to be killed in my sleep by my floral poster. So I'm gonna show you the posters and then we'll hang them. I have some really like neutral kind of pictures because I'm going for Scandi boho, Nordic boho theme. So I have this one, maybe not the prettiest picture ever. This one I really like. It's a herbarium, dried flowers, dried plants, piece of nature number 1. Next is this one-line art. I really like this one too. Not floral, but you know, at the same time I don't want everything to be floral and plant related. I mean, I love plants, right? But I mean, I think there's a, you know, place for plants and place for other things as well. Next is this one, home is where the heart is, with art like in different color. And the last one is a macro picture of beautiful white flowers. Okay, and just one thing, I'm never really comfortable with talking about different brands or like promoting brands or anything like that. That's not something that I do on this channel, but I do realize because I'm showing you all of those things, so maybe some of you are interested in purchasing something similar, or if you're just wondering what else is available, I'm gonna say that I ordered these posters from Poster Store. Obviously, it's not sponsored or anything like that. Okay, I have these wooden frames that I'm gonna use for all of these pictures. So let me just quickly put them all in the frames and then let's hang them. Okay, it's done. Now we have a nicer background behind to chat. Okay, so as I mentioned in my last week's video, I launched a new event on Instagram. It's called My Mini Bouquet, where I encourage people to go out in their garden to pick a few seasonal plants and to make a tiny bouquet and to share that on Instagram. People use the hashtag My Mini Bouquet, then they tag me and then I repost their beautiful bouquets in my stories and save it permanently on my Instagram page. It's such a fun event. We are having so much fun. So if you guys have Instagram account, please do join us. It's every Sunday. So I went and bought a few new vases. I have one like this, and from the same shop I also have this one. In the last vase from the same shop, one like this. They're all tiny because, as I said, the mini bouquet, you know, the goal is to make a tiny bouquet. And then I have one other one like this, also a beige, really cute. I still have, you know, like prices and stickers on them. This one is like a full-size bouquet vase. This one will actually go here. I'm gonna take that plant from there and I'm gonna put this vase instead. I'm gonna put some dried flowers in it. I have a few mini bundles of dried flowers. I think they are so cute. And the second one, like this. For this bigger vase, I'm gonna use these. Okay, so I'm gonna cut them to size and I'm gonna place them in the vase and put them on my bedside table. Okay, and the two last things that I have are these matching pots. They are for my two Sansevierias, and that's where I realized that one of my Sansevieria is rotting. And I was kind of bummed. But we are gonna try to save it in a moment. But before that, let me just show you a few amazing books that I bought and that I'm reading right now. Okay, so let's briefly talk about my new books. I actually bought myself these books for Christmas. They are all secondhand. I always buy books secondhand. And I only finished one of them, so I'm not gonna talk for a really long time. Just wanted to briefly mention them because I think that they are all worth reading. The first one has been on my wish list for a really long time. It's called The Hidden Life of Trees, What They Feel, How They Communicate, Discoveries from a Secret World. It's a book by Peter Wolleben. I'm probably mispronouncing his name, I'm sorry. This book has been on my wish list for a really long time. I've heard a lot of good opinions about it. It's an international bestseller. And honestly, you guys, I loved it. Peter is a German forester, an expert on trees. And in this book, he talks about trees as if they were humans, like how they interact with each other, how they care for one another, how they communicate. And sometimes it makes you feel like you're reading a fairy tale, but then it's backed by scientific research and all the new discoveries. It's a really amazing book, and like after you read this book, you will never look at forests and trees the same way, I can assure you. It is translated to several languages, so it exists in French as well, because a lot of the times people ask me, like when I show some books, is this book available in French? So this one is available in French. It has a different cover, but yeah, you have those. This book has been translated to many languages as far as I know. Okay, the next book is Pots for All Seasons by Tom Harris. Tom Harris is a horticulturist and he's well known for his passion for container gardens. He talks a lot in this book. Like, I'm really surprised how much he talks, because, you know, there are books where people just briefly address some topics and then there's just like a bunch of beautiful photos. But here there are beautiful photos and there's a lot of explanation. When you have a picture of a certain composition, he always adds a little note at the side where he explains like kind of the logic behind it, like what was his thought process, why he designed it, or why he planted it the way he planted it, and what role those plants play in this composition, so that each time you look at the picture, you don't just see the picture and like, oh, well, that's nice. He explains you a little bit more, like he goes into really those tiny details, like why he placed this pot in here, why he placed that plant in there, and you know, I really, really like that. I just started reading it. As you can see, my mark is at the beginning. So I'm yet to discover what is in this book. But so far I'm already enjoying it and really like how he explains. He doesn't just talk, as I said, he doesn't just talk how to garden, but he really just shares his journey of container gardening, how he, you know, what inspired him to start that journey and how he container gardens, and yeah, a lot about his own personal experience. And all the photos are from his garden, which is really nice. I really like it when gardeners show their own gardens, because there are a lot of books that talk about container gardening, but then people take photos from the internet. So for me, that kind of lacks credibility, you know. And here we really see his garden. We really see all of those beautiful compositions that he planted and how he gardens throughout the year. So yeah, a very beautiful book. Definitely recommend it. Okay, the next book is called The Complete Container Garden by David Joyce. I mentioned David Joyce and one of his books in my container gardening books video. Really like this author, really like his books. And I didn't have this book, so I ordered this book. And now imagine my surprise, the book arrives and I'm like opening this book, looking at the pictures, started to read it, and I'm like, I think I saw it somewhere already. So then I take my other book by David Joyce that is called The Ultimate Container Garden. And you guys, imagine my surprise when I realized that these books are identical. They were actually published the same year by the same author by different publishing houses. So I don't really understand. They have different covers, they are called differently, but they are literally identical, like page by page identical. I spoke about this book in my video, so I'm not gonna repeat myself, but I really like how he explains and how, you know, he shows in the pictures like how he plants the compositions, how many plants he used, how he planted them, how to maintain that composition later on. A lot of like plant recipes, let's say, like container recipes, so how to plant different compositions. And also a lot of useful information, a lot of DIY projects and stuff like that. So I really like this book. I mean, that's still a mystery how come these books are identical, but well, that's a shame. Okay, and the last book is by David Joyce. This one is called Hanging Baskets, Window Boxes and Containers. That's what it is. It is container recipes and planting ideas. You see, for like hanging baskets, you have some compositions. He explains how to plant them, which is really great for balcony gardeners, for container gardeners, or just, you know, even if you have a real garden but you are searching for some ideas for seasonal planters. Yeah, he shows how to make some really fun, cool projects. Definitely a fun book for anyone who is searching for some new ideas on how to plant different seasonal compositions. Okay, enough talking, let's finally repot this poor sunset that is begging for mercy. You guys, that's, I mean, firstly, sorry that I'm like kneeling on the floor here, but as I said, no furniture in this house and outside is freezing cold, so I can't take this plant to repot it outside. That's what I usually do. I just take my houseplants and I repot them outside to not make mess, but it's an exceptional situation right now. So you guys, I am a little bit upset with myself because last year I posted a video called Houseplant Haul and Repotting, and I bought this plant 1 year ago. And in that video, back then and there, I took this plant in my hands and I said, the health of this plant is questionable. The tips are really dry, as well as the margins, the sides of the leaves. And there's a big spot somewhere, oh here, there's a big spot here, and it's like rotting. I said back then and there that this plant is not healthy, but I don't know why. I just didn't have the idea to inspect the roots, to check what is actually going on. Like, I think I was just so excited of having so many new plants that I don't know what happened. I don't know, I just saw that there was a spot, like it was rotting. And I just cut it out and I just like didn't bother to inspect the plant. Now we are here, the plant is rotting, so we have to save it. So it produced the baby plants on the side, so I'm hoping that the babies are healthy, and I will probably replant only the baby plants. I will take it out of its pot, inspect the roots and check what is going on finally. Okay, so for now it looks to me like the mother plant is rotting, because you can see that this doesn't look healthy either, but all the babies that the mother plant produced seem to be in perfect condition. So I think I'm just gonna cut off the babies. Sansa is repotted. I'm not gonna water it now because, as you saw, I was breaking off those baby plants, so they have open wound at the end of the place where they were connected to the mother plant. So I don't want to water them now. I will let the wound heal a little before I apply water, because, you know, if I water now, then I risk again that the plant would rot. So yeah, hoping that now that it's in fresh soil, in new container, and that I removed the part that was rotten, that now it's gonna grow healthy and beautifully like this other one over here. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. I know it was a little bit of an unusual one, but hope that you enjoyed it nevertheless. Thank you so much for watching and see you again soon. Bye!